Hi, my name is Krista Mashore and I'm with eXp Realty. And how did I get started? Well, it's kind of a long story. When I first got into real estate, I was actually a teacher. I taught third grade for about 6 years and I loved it. And one day, one of my former students' moms came into the room and she was flashing all of her checks, and she made more money from the checks that she had from her closings in her hand than I made 6 or 8 months worth of teaching. So I'd kind of been thinking about doing something else. So I picked up the phone and called and got my real estate license. And my goal was just kind of to play around with real estate. And unfortunately, my daughter got kind of sick at that time. And so I ended up leaving teaching altogether, again, with just the idea of playing real estate, maybe selling a couple houses a year. And I ended up going through a kind of nasty divorce. My husband left me at the time. He was having an affair. And so I dove into real estate and sold 69 houses my first year in real estate. So that's kind of my backstory of teacher to real estate agent. So I was able to grow my brand and my business before video marketing, quite honestly, by trying to always be as different as possible and doing things sort of like nobody else would. So to give you a few examples of that, back in the day, I remember one day I was called the Foreclosure Queen, and that was because I was doing a lot of foreclosures. And so at that point I decided to kind of remarket and rebrand myself and to sort of stand out amongst the crowd. So I started putting my listings on television back in the time when there was people watching television, and back when people were doing one-page black and white flyers, I was doing 4-page colored brochures. And I would take the little discs, you know, the little CD discs, and I'd stick the discs on my real estate sign so people could take the disc, and then there'd be 60 pictures instead of just 4 or 5. So I just try to be very different and unique, and I think that's something that every single real estate agent needs to always be really, really conscious of. What is everyone else doing in your market, and how can you take what they're doing and tweak it and change it or do it better? Or how can you do something completely different than everyone else? I always tell everyone that everything you do is a representation of how you run your business. So for example, you're always on a job interview, right? Every single flyer that you produce, your sign, the way that you show up in the world, your business cards, every single piece of marketing that you do is a representation of how you are going to do business and how you're going to treat your clients. So small things like when the clients would come in from out of town, picking them up from the airport, having a great goodie bag for their kids, games for the kids to play, all those small things make a big difference. When I first got into real estate, the market was pretty great, right? I've been in it for about 19 years now, so you can do the math, but it was a traditional market, and I started noticing the market was going to change, and it turned into a foreclosure and short sale market. And many people did not want to adapt. They hated short sales. They refused to change until it was too late. So when the market started adjusting, I started traveling the country and meeting asset management companies and banks, and I started, getting foreclosures and short sales, and I had a large portfolio of them, and I made sure that I got educated and credentialed. I had 5 or 6 credentials in short sales and foreclosures so that I would be able to stand out amongst the competition. Getting educated really, really helped me do that. So I did have a lot of success. My work ethic and, drive to be different helped me. But I was doing still traditional things like the average normal agent does. When I say that, I don't mean any disrespect, but I mean I was doing things like open houses, and when I would hold an open house, I would give away giveaways to people, and then I would do drawings, and then I'd bring the prizes to people's houses and say, hey, you won the prize, kind of a deal. And they were the ones that obviously won the prize that were ones that were thinking about buying or thinking about selling, so I could kind of get my foot into the door, and then I'd bring them my marketing plan or bring them a buyer's guide or a seller's guide way back when. When the market adjusted from a short sale and foreclosure market, I lost a listing, and I called and said, why did I lose the listing? And they said, well, Krista, the last guy called you the Foreclosure Queen. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am the Foreclosure Queen. And right then I decided to absolutely change the way that I was doing business. I went and got certified in the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, and back then I started using video. And within a year's time frame, I went from being known as the Foreclosure Queen to being known as the Digital Marketing Queen. So I started studying not real estate agents, but what were the Fortune 500 companies doing? How did Whole Foods and Google and Wells Fargo and Nike and McDonald's, how did they market to their customers? And basically what they did was they used something called content marketing. I call it engagement marketing. They engaged their customers. If you think about it, why does McDonald's actually market? Why do they run commercials during the Super Bowl when it's so expensive. They do it because they know it absolutely works, right? They know that by grabbing the attention of this huge, large audience, that they're going to go out and they're going to want to buy a cheeseburger or get some, chicken nuggets, right? Or eat some French fries. They know that it works. So not only do they try to advertise their product, but they also advertise their brand. They advertise who they are. They serve people. They educate them, they inform, they entertain. That's all a part of marketing and branding. Now that I have, introduced video into my life with marketing, it's really gotten people to know who I am. It's established me as the authority figure in my area. And, I consider myself an expert. Even back then I had sold, hundreds and hundreds of homes. But if nobody knows that you've sold hundreds of homes, it doesn't really matter, right? In other words, you want to be known. In order for you to be known, you have to be seen and you have to be heard. When I started utilizing video, that content was working for me. So in other words, I always tell people your content is doing more marketing and advertising you than anything else in your business, and it never stops. It can be organic, right? So if I shoot a video, then I'm not chasing business all the time. There's no ups and downs. I can go on vacation. I can not work the weekends and nights. I can not do open houses, not cold call, not door knock, and I still am just as busy as ever. So I started using video about 8 years ago, and I actually just saw the video on Facebook pop up in my memories, and it cost me like $2,000 to get this video recorded. And I had it playing on the movie theaters, right? And people still to this day tell me, Krista, we see you on the movie theaters. They don't say that we saw you or we used to see you. They say, we see you on the movie theaters. I haven't advertised on the movie theaters for like 6 years, but people, it still resonates in their mind. Do you like money? And do you like making an impact? And if the answer is yes, then video is your number one fastest way for you to accelerate growth no matter what level of business you're in. Whether you're just brand new entering the market as a real estate agent, whether you're right in the middle and you're doing 12 deals here, you want to do 24, whether you're already a top producer and you really want to start, really pumping it up, video is your key. So for me, as far as video goes and my business, I did really, really well before due to my work ethic, but video has given me flexibility, freedom, and time, and I no longer have the ups and downs in the business because of the use of video. Video creates amazing opportunities in pretty much every aspect of business, regardless of what business that you're in. So for example, as a real estate agent, it's positioned me to be able to become more of a listing agent and not a buyer's agent. With videos and listings, I've been able to not only showcase my marketing expertise and how I digitally market properties, I've been able to also market myself. It's also allowed me to really cut into the coaching world very, very soon and be able to coach and teach other agents from across the country on how to utilize video, how to take that video and not only use it as a branding tool, but also as a tool to help them win more listings. And right now, what does everyone want? They want listings. So when the pandemic hit, no one was allowed to do open houses. Our area got completely shut down. And so most agents, they do open houses, right? And a lot of sellers think that they want open houses. So what we did was we created a digital marketing funnel based on video, and we took all of our houses that we had, we ran videos by them, and we did a virtual open house funnel. Now, how did this help? Number one, we were able to utilize the virtual open house to run ads to it and then meet live buyers on Zoom through a digital open house funnel. But also we were allowed to position ourselves very, very quickly in the market as a company that was so innovative, so quick, that had the cure and the solution to not being able to hold open houses as most sellers think that they want. So we showed them our virtual open house funnel, and it was a digital marketing funnel with video, with the emphasis of video. We showed them how we can attract buyers via video online and then get them into the open house funnel where they could watch the home and tour the home 360 tour on their own, or they could schedule an appointment to meet with us and we could walk them through the digital footprint. Now that alone, I can tell you, even now gets us listings. We show up and we've got our toolbox on, I always say, of things that we can utilize. And the more that we show and not tell, it helps people. So for example, many of you don't want to have to do open houses, right? And many sellers want you to do open houses. But according to the National Association of Realtors, 67% of buyers will walk through a home that they see online. So if you tell a seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, did you know that 67% of buyers will walk through a home that they see online? Well, I didn't know that. Yes, but did you also know that according to the National Association of Realtors, less than 7% of homes actually sell with an open house and a sign, which means about 3.5% of homes only sell with an open house. However, I also want you to understand that when you have a regular traditional open house, that you're allowing just anybody and everybody to come through the home, which can be dangerous for you, correct? We only want to get qualified, viable buyers into your home. So we have a solution for you. Now, what we're doing instead is we hold a virtual online open house where we showcase your home utilizing video and basically 3D virtual video as well. So we can bring buyers into your home virtually. And remember, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, 67% of buyers that see a home online will actually go to walk through it according to the NAR. So now we're getting buyers to see it digitally online where they're looking in most cases. And we're also doing that and making sure that they're qualified. Because what will happen, now they're going to either call us, they're going to call their agent, and we're going to make sure they're actually qualified to actually step real feet into your home so that we know we're only bringing viable buyers in. So the opportunities with video are endless. Not only can you utilize it to create tools and strategies around gaining listings and getting the competitive edge amongst your competition, but you can also use it for other opportunities. I've been on this stage at Inman, right? We've won the Top Agent Magazine Awards. We just got an Innovation Award. All of that stuff looks good on your resume. The more that you can have these type of designations and credentials and awards and certificates, and the more that you can show people, not just tell, but show them that you are doing different, you're being different, it will help you. Have you ever gone to Walmart or have you ever gone to Home Depot and you see a customer, a client that you work with, and they absolutely loved you, like you did a great job, you were amazing for them, and they say, oh my gosh, Krista, I bought a house, and you're like, yes, good for you, but they didn't use you. And they didn't use you not because they didn't love you, they didn't use you because they forgot about you, right? I call it the 5 R's. How do we get people to refer us, to retain us, and to resell with us? We get that through rituals and routines, right? So people cannot forget you when you start utilizing video. When you're using video and your past customers are seeing you all the time online via video, when people that you don't know are seeing you online via video, people that don't know you are more likely to use you. That's opportunity. People that don't know you are more likely to refer you. That's opportunity. Past clients are going to remember you. That's opportunity. Past clients are more likely to refer you. So if you can commit to consistently producing content correctly, meaning correctly distributing that content, you're going to make more connections. So you're going to convert more clients and customers. It's all about the connections. You see this picture. So this is just a picture. You know nothing about me from this picture. However, if I start talking to you and or you start seeing videos of me and you can see my personality, like right now, you're getting an idea of who I am. You can tell that, you know, I probably have a lot of energy and I'm kind of a happy type person and I'm very excited and I really am enthusiastic about my subject. You can't tell that just from a picture. As you start utilizing more video content, people start to know you. They start to like you. They start to trust you. And this really smart guy named Grant Wise actually told me this thing called the Parasocial Relationship. And what that means is that whenever you start utilizing video, because of how we were born and raised, we were watching the television, people's brains are programmed to really see us as somebody on the other side of a screen, the other side of a TV or a phone or a video, right? As somebody of importance. And so they start to develop a one-sided relationship with you. They think they know you. It's kind of like when you are watching the movies and, you know, you're cheering for your customer, you're cheering for your movie star, you're crying for your movie star, you love these people. The same thing happens when you utilize video in your business, in your marketing. The opportunities just are just so different than just the old school ways of sending out flyers and, you know, putting cards on people's doors. It's just so different. They know they want to work with you when you walk through the front door. Video for me has opened up, you know, loads and loads of opportunities, and it will for you too if you just start using it. So get out of your head and just go for it. So before I go on a listing presentation, I have a whole listing process that I do. So when somebody calls me to list their house, number one, I want to make sure that I'm doing things that nobody else is doing. So one of the things that I do, which is something small, right, is once I have the listing, we make sure that we call the day before and remind them of the appointment. We also drop off a marketing plan the day before. So a physical copy of a marketing plan gets delivered to their property the day before. I also have a book that I've written called What to Expect When Selling Your Home. And that book will also get hand delivered, as well as a digital copy of that book. We also do a bomb video before the listing presentation and after the listing presentation. Before we remind them about it, after we thank them for the listing presentation, thank them for hiring us or thank them for considering us. And then before they'll meet with us, They watch a 13-minute video that talks all about everything that I do. And people always ask me, well, Krista, do they actually watch that video? I will tell you, I can track it utilizing a software called BombBomb. I can see whether or not they open it, and every person watches the video. And here's how I get them to watch it. I say, John, I am so excited about seeing you tomorrow. Now listen, I'm gonna be sending over a video for you. It's only 13 minutes long, but this is the most important investment of your life. And I wanna make sure that you watch this video. Now in this video, it's a 13-minute long video, and the entire video talks all about digital marketing and social media and how traditional tactics and techniques do not work anymore. I go over video stats and how homeowners want to see videos, how many buyers watch videos, how buyers go online. So before I even get to them, before I even show up to that appointment, they already know who I am. They know all about my marketing, what sets me apart, what questions to ask other agents, right? And it saves me time. There is a strategy behind how to utilize video. So I'm gonna give you a couple of techniques and tips, but I wanna start off by this. When you meet somebody let's just say you're at church, or you're in a bar, or you're out with your friends one night, and you see the person of your dreams. Like, you see this person, you're like, I want to marry them. Do you just go up to them and say, we're getting married right now? We don't do that. We don't, right? What do? We get our phones and we look them up on Facebook and we start texting them, and we'll send them a message here and there. Maybe we'll start calling them, we'll start FaceTiming, then we'll meet for breakfast, then we'll have lunch, maybe we'll get a little hug or a peck in, then we'll have dinner, we'll start holding hands, get a smooch in, we date for a couple years, a couple months, whatever it might be, then we actually get engaged, then we get married. There's a long process. There is a process with video. So many people, the idea behind video is getting people to get to know you, to like you, and trust you. It's to break down barriers and to position you as the expert. Also, part of your marketing strategy is to get people's information, right? We want to take people's information. We want to get their name, their phone number, their email address, so that we own that list, so we can put that list into our CRM and we can future market to them, future email them, and stay top of mind in other platforms that we actually own, right? Like you own your list where you can take people's information and start emailing them. But when you are marketing on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else, you don't own that portal. So if anything ever happens to it, you're in trouble. If all those portals stopped right now, you didn't have anybody's email address, your business could stop. So what I want to talk to you about is that strategy. Getting people, dating people, getting them to know you, feeling comfortable with you so that they're willing to give you their contact information. If you date people first, if you take the time to get the video content out there, they're more likely to convert and give you the information that you want. There's so many people out there right now that are marketing. We are getting hounded by marketers. People are afraid to give you their contact information. But if you start giving information and value, and you're giving tips and tricks and hacks, you're the person that talks all about what's the best, restaurants in town. Where do you take your sweetie on a date for Valentine's Day? What are the best dog parks in town? You're the one that's interviewing businesses. You're talking about what's coming up in the area. You're talking about how do you keep your kids sane or yourself sane right now with everything going on with this homeschooling. You're giving tips, you're getting people to know you. When you start marketing your business, when you start giving information about real estate, you're giving market updates, you're talking about, tips for sellers, tips for buyers, and then you want them to download your seller secrets guide, or your 7 essentials when buying in a competitive market, or when you want them to get a market analysis. They're not just going to give you their information and download that market analysis until you've brought them up your ladder. They trust you now. So the strategy behind video, number one, is making sure that you do it. It's a time game. It doesn't happen overnight. You're developing trust. You're dating. You're courting. You're flirting with your audience, right? You're flirting with your community, so that when it's time to actually get their contact information, for you to do that lead magnet, for you to get them to want to download that buyer's guide, go to your virtual seller seminar, your virtual buyer seminar. When you want them to give you their information, they're more willing to do it. So that's the strategy behind getting people to actually click and give you their information so you can future download to them. So that's the overall strategy behind how I've been able to position myself both in real estate, as a real estate expert in my community, but also as a real estate expert in coaching, right? I've only been in the coaching industry for about 2.5 years. Nobody knew me before that. And so what I did was I just started giving information and value and tips and tricks and kind of just helping people. And the more that you help people and serve people, the more that they want to start showing interest. So now, after 2.5 years, we have about 60,000 people on our list that have downloaded our information, meaning they've given me their contact information based upon the value that I've given to them. And that's across the nation. So imagine doing this for, a year and a half or 2.5 years or a year or 6 months in your own local community, and you're really hyper targeted, just serve. The more you serve, the more you will sell. So that's the strategy behind the video. Now I want to give you a couple of tips and tricks that we utilize with video to have really kind of helped supersede our competitors. So many people are going after expireds or for sale by owners. And what does everyone do? Everyone gets on the phone, they call the for sale by owner, and they're hounding them, and they all do it usually in the beginning. And then that sort of goes off and off and off, right? So one tip that you could utilize is you could create a video on why your home didn't sell. So basically send somebody to a landing page or to a website, can Krista sell it? Or, yourhomedidn'tsell.com. whyyourhomedidn'tsell.com, right? They go to this landing page, and then on the landing page, it's you doing a video talking about the 5 main reasons why homes don't sell. Homes don't sell because they're undermarketed. Maybe they're overpriced. The condition was bad. The location was bad, right? You can go on and talk about why homes don't sell and what you do different than other people to actually get the home to sell. Now, what's happening when you do this? Number one, you're not in their face. You're not doing what everyone else is doing. You're not calling them, right? How do you get them to actually go to that landing page? How do you get them to go to that website? Well, create a 8.5 by 11 postcard, and all you can do on that postcard is put your home didn't sell or why your home didn't sell. Go to KristaCanSellIt.com or howtosellyourhome.com or whyyourhomedidn'tsell.com, right? Put that postcard on their porch, send that postcard to them, maybe with a copy of your marketing plan or something else. They're gonna go to this website on their own terms. They're gonna watch a video of you talking about why homes don't sell, how many homes that you've sold, and what you can do to actually make homes sell. You're not gonna talk bad about anybody else. You're not gonna discredit anyone else. You're just gonna talk about the strategies and the tips and the techniques that you utilize that no one else is doing to actually help that home sell, all right? Easy strategy. They're getting to know you, like you, trust you, breaking down barriers. You're doing something that nobody else is, and it's non-invasive. It's non-intrusive. Now you're gonna follow that up by a call. Hey, it's Krista Mashore. How you doing? Just checking. Did you get a chance to watch that video on, why your home maybe didn't sell and the type of things that could help it sell? They're more likely to answer that phone now because they've seen the video, you've broken down the barriers, and they trust you. Also, you don't just want to stop there. If they don't answer their phone or they don't want to talk to you, now is when you're going to start sending them things, right? Maybe you're going to send them, an example flyer. You're going to give them, you're going to say, hey, I'll create a flyer for you, or let me go ahead and advertise your property for you. Let me do a video home tour of your property. That's one strategy. Another strategy that you can utilize during video is you can do different types of things during different days of the week. So one day of the week might be, fix and flip type of day. Like you're gonna go out and you're gonna look at different homes in the area, and you're gonna talk about which homes could be great fixer or flippers, or which homes would be great investment properties. You can then pick another day of the week where you do videos on certain neighborhoods and you talk about certain styles of homes in the neighborhood, things to do in that neighborhood. You can talk about price reductions that happen in that neighborhood, all using video. Video marketing increases conversions because you're making a connection with your community. You want to commit to consistently producing content correctly so you can make a connection with your community so you can convert more clients and customers. Making a connection with people is how you convert them. I have had so many people tell me, Krista, it's amazing how many more people now want to talk to me. They actually answer my phone. They're excited to hear from me. It's so different when you call somebody and they know who you are than when you call somebody and they have no idea who you are, and they just you're like this slimy salesperson. Right? They feel like they're being bothered. When they know you, you become like a trusted friend. You're a trusted advisor. Video establishes relationships with people. number one part of recording a video is grabbing someone's attention. You only have 6 seconds to capture someone's attention. We're just like a goldfish. So here's how you do not want to start a video. Hi, I'm Krista Mashore. You've already lost me at hello. Nobody cares who you are, right? So what you want to do first is you want to grab somebody's attention. You want to hook them. So you want to say something like, did you know right now it's an insanely amazing real estate market? Houses are flying off the shelf, right? So you're going to like grab someone's attention, hook them, use a curiosity hook, grab their attention, get them excited, get them wanting to listen. The second thing is aligning with their feelings. I understand it can be so scary as a seller to know what to do, or like, should you take multiple offers or should you take the first offer you get? Now I'm aligning with their feelings. I understand how you feel. The third thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna establish myself as the authority. Now for me, I'd say, I've sold hundreds of homes right here in East County, so I understand sellers and I get how you feel, right? So now I'm giving them a reason to want to listen to me. And then number 4 is now you give your tips and tricks, right? You give your advice, you teach them, you tell them. Many times it's really a good idea not to tell them everything, but to give them 1 or 2 tips or tricks and make them want to come to you for more. And number 5 is tell them, encourage them to take action. Now is when, depending upon where they are in your sales funnel, right? If you've already established yourself as the authority, you've dated them for a while, your community knows you, now you can say, hey, give me a call or download this guide or go to this website. You give them something to do at the end. So that's the stages of creating an awesome video that people will actually want to watch. So you're nervous, right? Well, guess what? Everyone is nervous when it comes to creating video. We get worried about what people are going to think about us and what they're going to say and how do we look and how do we sound. Here's the deal. They're just people. They're just like you. Every single person that is out there watching you, they're naked just like you do. They have the same fears and wants and desires. They're just people, no matter who they are. So somebody gave me some really good advice once, and they said, Krista, don't make it about you. Make it about the impact that you're gonna have. Make it about who you're gonna help. Make it about what you're gonna do for them. You know, because you're watching this right now, you care about your business, you care about your life, right? You care about helping other people. You know that you're the best person for the job. You're the best person that can make the most amount of impact, that can do that buyer or seller the best fiduciary responsibility, the best job, right? And the best way to do that is for you to show them who you are, for you to get them to get to know you so they can learn to like you and they can trust you so you can make an impact and you can help them. Listen, I was just like you were. The first time I did a video, I must have recorded that thing 100 times. Finally, what I realized was quit watching it over and over, just hit record and just hit go. I learned to be perfectly imperfect. And guess what? People like me for it. During this video today, during this interview, I have made a lot of mistakes. I've heard myself saying the wrong things. And I think like, oh, I messed that up. But guess what? You probably didn't even notice. And hopefully if you're still watching, you still like me. Your people will like you too. And if I didn't do this, you'd never get a chance to know me. If you don't do this, they're never going to get a chance to know you. I promise the rewards that you're gonna get from it are worth it. So do it consistently, and then in 6 months, I want you to reach out to me and say, Krista, oh my gosh, it worked. And I want to hear about the impact it had and how you have more money in the bank and how you have more freedom and more time and how you have less stress and anxiety because you don't have all the ups and downs of business. So that's my challenge to you. Just hit record, just do it. We're all the same. And I promise you will not regret it. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.